Alright, and welcome back to another night of Hate Your Friends. Today we have Team Morbin time versus Team Missing Marksman. We have them on the left and the right correspondingly there. And I'm joined today by co-caster Grubsy. Grubsy, say hi.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Grubsy is a Diamond League of Legends professional here, so we'll have lots of insight to this game, and we're going to have a good time tonight. We have, so far, the bands, Mayokai. I'm not actually sure who that is targeted at. We haven't seen that band before in the Hate Your Friends. Mordekaiser.
I think it's probably coming at Ethan.
You think? I don't think he's been
trying
playing.
to keep him out of the top lane. I think Bronte Lycos is being hit here hard. I mean, not only with the Mordekaiser, but also with the Maokai.
I don't know. I don't think the Maokai is directed at him. I think maybe it's Yuri. If I had to guess, it might be Yuri. Maybe he's been picking that one up.
That's an easy Karibo hit, though.
Yeah, that one's a general. That one hits both Hobomaniac and Karibo. I think that they're conceding it because it's first pick. I think Hobomaniac would play it if it was available, but it would be snap first pick most likely. But the Rek'Sai ban, I think that could really... Oh, do we actually have the Alistar top lane? Do we have the Alistar top coming through? Is it the mythic Alistar top?
You can only hope for
It's not because Rondi's on this turn, not on this team, but still. One could hope.
I mean, the Varus seems like a safe pick just to throw out there. You got range, you got damage.
Varus is very solid right now. He's good even how low mobility is, but I do think that he's quite strong. I think Varus has been strong for a long while, and just because he is immobile, he's not played that often. We'll see if they pick up like a Thresh or something to protect him. Who is their support? The support is Healer Diff Tom, so not that likely to see a Thresh. But I think that is likely Nick Malma Morbius, named after the team Morbin Time himself, or the team is named after him rather. And then Talia, that'll likely be Goose in the mid lane on Talia there. Interesting first pick to pick that up. And then Kha'Zix will likely be for Hobomaniac in the jungle. That is, I mean, he's in the jungle, so it is definitely him. So
with the Varus, it's almost a little bit of a flex pick though, because you could easily, if it gets too dangerous in the bot lane, you could just run in mid. It's 100% a solid flex pick mid.
You could run Varus mid. I don't think we're likely to see it, but I think we could. I think with a Kha'Zix on the enemy team, you don't want that Varus to be alone. You want somebody in that lane to give him a chance at surviving.
The backup.
Just any boy that you can say, hey, he's not alone, put that near him. I think that's what you're gonna want, given how low mobility is. If the ult's up, maybe he can survive the Kha'Zix if he hits the ult. But with that down, he's just a snack waiting to be feasted upon.
We're going to have a jungler locked in here on the final pick, you think?
Probably. Oh, there you go. The Poppy there to counter the Kha'Zix. We saw that be very effective against the Kha'Zix last time. Saw a little bit of sketch hitbox on that W, completely changing the outcome of one fight and turning the entire game on its head.
Pick. It could go... It stops you from being able to lock in certain top laners,
that is
too.
True.
Just in fear of what might happen.
That's going to take out... If it was on the other team, it would take out Meshi's Cassante for sure. That wouldn't be allowed. For Bronte, I'm not sure it hits too many of his go-tos. They did leave the Darius open again. We're not seeing that picked as priority, as high priority as it had been in the past. It used to be if Darius is open, they pick it, but once it's been answered a couple times, they're really just making sure that Mordekaiser ends up being the one that's banned.
I mean, Mordekaiser's hard to deal with, regardless of what you pick it.
You can't gank him because he just says, no, how about I gank you instead and 1v1 me, bro.
Yeah, with Bronte there, I mean, it's kind of just too hard to pick. And
Interesting to see the Samira ban. That means that maybe they are thinking it's a Varus mid.
I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked, even though it's a dangerous pick. They're just trying to make sure that it's a Varus bot lane, I think. If they're trying to make sure that it's not, and that he's going to be forced mid by the bans.
That does seem odd. Yeah, I feel like you just taking out more mid laners is a better bet there. Like if they left the Aurelion Soul open, I mean, I think Aurelion Soul got nerfed, so maybe it's not as much of a problem here. Okay, so never mind. Hobmanic's on the other team, so he doesn't want to ban the Aurelion Soul.
It is strange to split the bans though. You think you commit one way or another.
Yeah,
force it mid or force it bot.
Yeah, I mean, they did see Nick on the Samira last time was doing really well. He was quite scary. So I feel like maybe they're trying to take him off of something that he's shown some comfort on. They see the set ban out here as last one against Bronte there. So Bronte not drawing nearly as many bans as he used to. Only 2 bans across 2 phases for him as opposed to 3 to 5 bans across all phases.
Yep.
Okay, Tristana being hovered here. So Tristana Blitzcrank, definitely an aggressive lane. They can get you.
Tristana is shocking to me. You see the Poppy on the enemy team, and you lock in a champion who's whole goal is to W either in or out. That's
Okay,
what
there
I'm
we go.
kind of thinking
Seraphine.
there.
Yep. Okay,
Pick
Seraphine
someone
being
a
picked
little
up
safer,
instead.
a little
Thinking
more
that is
poke there.
probably Zand on the Seraphine there. He tends to break that one out. So a Seraphine Blitzcrank bot lane, it's looking like. Not going to be. That's kind of an odd mixture of
It
aggression, right? The Blitzcrank wants to
it's
be
it's
aggressive, and
just
Seraphine's like, we're very safe, but I can kill you.
right. She can poke him down early to the point that Blitzcrank can pull him in and finish the job, and
Yeah.
that kind of just deals with the Varus's range, I think, with the
Yeah,
Seraphine
and
pick.
a Blitzcrank hook results in a double, E from Seraphine, which is going to root you, and then you're going to get
Sure.
knocked up on top of that. Or if the Seraphine root hits, you're going to get hooked. So those do work
And I
quite
mean, they're
nicely
gonna
together.
be end up blowing up all their flashes early that allows Kha'Zix just to sweep in and get some free kills.
Ooh, I do like the
So
Gragas being hovered here. That's been a nightmare for Vronti in the top lane to deal with so far. He's dealt with it some, but oh man, he does not enjoy the process of laning against the Gragas.
what do you think he picks? He's got some bands out. Do you think he throws in the Darius as kind of
I
a
want to see the Alistair.
tossing the
But I always want to see
gauntlet
Alistair. I
down?
actually think Alistair would be good for their team. I think it should be Ornn, I think, is what they should look for on this team. I think it's what their
I
team
mean,
needs.
but being able to cancel Ornn's ulti with Poppy, 'cause he's a dash,
That's true.
right?
He
I
can't
don't.
dash. Yeah, that's true.
It
That's
is a
true.
kind of it's an unfortunate thing to lock in the
A lot
Poppy
of the
so
times, though, that
early.
he's going to be grabbing from long range. He's going to grab the Nasus. Interesting. Okay. I
Sure.
mean, I think he can handle himself
Uh,
against the Gragas' Nasus.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad pick, but it means we
Yeah.
might be in for a bit of a long game if
That's true. I mean, I think if the Gragas goes a little bit more aggressive in his build, maybe he could threaten the Nasus, and they don't need the tankiness in the Gragas here. I wouldn't mind seeing an AP
yeah,
Gragas this game, just to try to threaten the Nasus a little bit better.
they've got the
Um,
Nautilus, they've got
they
the
got the Nautilus, they got the
Poppy,
Poppy. Even Annie's like a somewhat
even
tanky for
Annie.
a mage. Yeah.
I'd love to see a more damage heavy Gragas here just to poke out Nasus and force him out of lane a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be good. So yeah, we're gonna see overall we have a Meshi on the Gragas, we have a Beach Shining Gundam on the Poppy, Karibo on the Annie, Mob Momorius, Nick on the Varus, and Nautilus, Helodiff. And then on the other side we've got Vronti Lycos on the Nasus, we have Hobomaniac on Kha'Zix, we have Goosinator, Goose on Talia, Zandro, Bazand on Seraphine, and we have Blitzcrank for Yuri Omja. So yeah, I guess looking at these picks here, we've got 3 minutes to just kind of wait and see what happens there. I feel like in general, mid lane matchup, Talia definitely outranges the Annies. That could be favoring her if she's able to kind of play that one from some range. But I feel like if the Annie's able to get onto the Talia, she could be killed fairly quickly, given that she's got low mobility.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's can they get Kha'Zix an opportunity? Because
Yep.
if they can open up the map a little bit for Kha'Zix to be able to start getting some kills, I think he can run away with it. But the team
It's
kind
gonna
of
be
is
tough.
relying on him
The
because
team's
he's
really
really the
hard
only
for
AD.
Kha'Zix, though. I mean, Kha'Zix jumping into a Gragas, he gets belly bumped or ulted away
Yep.
before he can probably burst him. He can't really do the same to the Poppy because he can't jump onto her. He's just going to W. And he's hard to kill because she drops sabers and shields herself. She's hard to burst. Varus is
I
the
mean,
easiest target, but he's going to have a Nautilus on him. And if Nautilus is there, he's just going to be CC'd for days. So it's really going
and
to be
I,
on Kha'Zix to find those windows for himself.
and I think like you say, I mean, it really is going to be before level 6, and it's going to be their mid or bot lane, and it's going to require maybe some blitz hooks or some Seraphine roots to make it happen. But he's their
Yeah.
only AD for the most part. I mean, I know Nasus has some too, but for the early game, I mean, he's going to be most of their AD damage. So
Yeah, that's true. They're
kind of have
definitely
to see.
an AD light team other than the Nasus there. Which I think they have enough damage on their team that they'll be fine. They're definitely a
Yeah.
little light on the AP threat until Talia gets online. She'll be hitting like a truck late game, but early she's not quite as strong as maybe an Annie is once the first level 6 hits.
No, and I mean with Annie, you've got that guaranteed stun with the Q, with the W, with the ult. Doesn't matter as long as you have those stacks up. So
Yeah,
always
but
a threat there.
both junglers definitely have some early routes for ganks, and both of these supports are definitely going to be looking to be aggressive. So it's going to be a battle of the hooks and the battle of the junglers to get on somebody and lock them down. There's definitely a lot of CC across both of these teams here. There is
Yes.
a lot. I wouldn't mind seeing a cleanse on this Varus, especially for like the Seraphine ult and the Wither. Because otherwise, if Varus gets withered once, he's got no recourse. He can't get out
He's
of it, and he
done.
can't dash away. So he's just done. Yeah, if he has a Gale Force build, maybe he gets away with one. But I do not think that's what Varus wants to be building.
And I mean, even then, if you're withered, you Gale Force a little bit away. Maybe you get away from the Nasus, but
You
you
got to
probably
get
have to
yourself
blow
to
ult.
someone else. But yeah.
You probably are blowing ult. You're probably blowing a flash too, and then the Nasus is still probably at full HP, right? So it's definitely gonna be some interesting to see how they can protect this Varus. I mean, it's gonna be a lot on healer diff to keep him alive.
Yeah, I would love to see a Thresh here. I do like the extra tankiness on Nautilus, but a Thresh would have been really nice for this Varus to have a chance of getting away from this Kha'Zix or this Nasus. And the Kha'Zix probably doesn't matter if he's like, if he has time to click the Lantern, Kha'Zix has time to kill him. But against the Nasus, at least you have some recourse for a Wither.
Right.
But yeah, we're about to jump in here in 3 seconds. You can see my screen, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so make sure that ends up being the case as well once we're in game 2. And I'll hopefully double check that all our settings look good.
Stream has ended.
Stream has ended, it said? It's still like going to the loading screen for me, so.
No worries. I mean, I think I'm interested to see if the Seraphine can land enough poke early. I think some early roams from the Kha'Zix will be possible.
Okay, I don't know why it ended, but there we go. That's why I wanted to know, because sometimes it does just randomly end like that.
It's a new client update. It's happened for the last couple months that anytime you go from the client to it cuts it.
Oh, and we have the fun little everything is in darkness bug at the beginning. Love that, love that, love that. Just kind of jump around for a little bit, and that should hopefully fix. Okay, whenever you want game. Okay, okay. I think this one is usually fixed by like rewinding.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, there it is. You see a timer now.
Play. There we go. All right. Okay, took a second there, and we're gonna get all of our settings going. Let's move it up. Get this.
Now, do you think it's worth it for the team with the Nautilus?
Try an invade?
Go for an invade.
I mean, they have the Blitzcrank as well, so right, it's like kind of a rock paper scissors of who shows first, who invades where.
Right.
So I'm curious as to what they'll actually do. It looks like we see red moving all together here towards the top lane invade, coming through the top of. I mean, we've seen. The point of weakness has been this area has not been watched in recent Hate Your Friends games. And so if somebody has taken note of that and they're just going to move into this blue buff, it'll be pretty free. We're going to see the same kind of thing happening here, so we might just have a trade of jungles here if nobody sees this.
Yeah, trade of blue
Depends on who
buffs.
actually backs. The problem is going to be if somebody here backs and they walk into this to check. That's where things are going to get dicey. But in general, I kind of expect to see everyone just kind of go on back. Yeah, we might have... Okay, so we have the Kha'Zix likely stay and start this because you can easily solo this pretty quickly here. And I mean, since you guys didn't see anything here, I feel like you should be on to the idea that they're invading here. And so you should just take his red.
Poppy doesn't seem like they're wanting to risk it in case they're showing up, so...
Yeah, I mean,
like
Poppy doesn't leash as easily and by herself, so I guess wanting a leash makes some sense, you know, just keep your HP a little bit higher. But I think you should smell this out and go your side to his side, right? Yeah, it's where the strategy top rush.
You're kind of wondering, do you three deal with the Seraphine and Blitzcrank that might be walking back, right? I think there's kind of that worry.
Not necessarily right now, right? But like right, because he should know that his top side is likely to be gone here. He's actually getting a leash from the Nasus too, which should make it even more obvious. He should take his red side, and then go to his blue side.
Straight to blue, yeah.
So we see Nasus come here a little bit late to lane. He didn't use any mana or anything. It's not going to be that obvious that he leashed, but he's a little late, so it should kind of clue them in maybe this has happened. And then I don't like this. I don't want to see this from you, Drew. I want to see you take all of this, right? You have the time. You know you have the time. Take both of these and then go to your own camps. Unless he's going to come here to protect his own blue. But I think if you're gonna counter jungle like this early, take the whole side. There's no reason not to take the whole side. You're just gonna hurt yourself in experience and let them have an earlier spawn on their second clear. Don't do this. Don't take just the one. I don't like it nearly as much.
Well, and to be honest, Poppy at level 3 deals with Kha'Zix okay at level 3. So if Poppy can get all her bot camps and then go to your blue side there, you're potentially looking at not making it out of your blue side. So
yeah, I mean we see here the Poppy pinging. That's likely the Poppy pinging that he thinks he's clearing down, going red to blue. But I mean, they should have smelled out that he was doing this, and if Poppy just goes in here and takes his whole blue side, then yeah, this is going to be really bad for Kha'Zix here. So I think that if you're going to invade, you've got to invade the whole thing because of this exact kind of play where if they do this to you, they're then going to be ahead of you. Because if Poppy comes in here, clears this, clears the Gromp, and then maybe even looks for you at Wolves, like Poppy's going to fight the Kha'Zix here. That's going to be pretty bad.
And I mean, with Annie pushed up so far, she can even rotate over.
Yep, she has priority to help out. Yep, if they want to try to fight over that Scuttle, if they want to try to fight over the Gromp. Yeah, and bot lane's got some prio as well. This is going to be really rough for Kha'Zix.
There we go. We see Annie walking in to get some vision there,
Yep, get the vision there. See if the Kha'Zix rotates up. I don't think this ward's going to see the... Well, it might. It's going to be close. That might have caught the Kha'Zix. We didn't see a ping.
Vision ping
from... That was on red, though. So he's
Red
going straight to this,
side.
and he's going to see that it's gone, and she's taking the Gromp right now. They're going to notice the Gromp being taken, so we get a little bit of fight over it.
She
But
is a little
Nautilus is
low here,
roamed
but
up to
look at
protect
this.
it. Ooh, they have the Blitzcrank coming though. This is actually
but boom.
an overextension there. Wow, did they catch the Poppy go in, or did they just rotate really fast? I think it's rotated really fast there.
Yeah, but I really, at the end of the day, Seraphine landed the root, and then Blitz was able to kind of do the rest there.
Yeah, that's nice awareness on the side of Red there to come and protect that jungle. Because if that does go the way that it looked like it was going to, if Poppy gets the Gromp and gets out, Kha'Zix was going to be so far behind in their jungle. So nice team play there to keep that Kha'Zix back in. Still wish that he had taken the whole side here, but it did work out well because they got that first kill.
Right, but Poppy does kind of get to recover here a little bit, right? She now does get to come back and get Wolves and Gromp.
Oh, this is probably a very dead Annie here. She's got flash. I don't think it's gonna matter because she's got red buff. Yeah, Connor knows here. If he flashes, the Kha'Zix is just gonna flash follow. No reason to blow it because then you're just even more gankable in the next time. So keep that flash for yourself. Just accept that you're dead either way and keep that flash up.
I think it is important.
Oh, that is a hook landing from Blitzcrank there onto the Varus. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna go the way you want. Yep, because he had those stacks already there. It's a lot of damage to go through. He's got a red buff now, and so they might be able to get. Oh, they didn't quite. I thought the slowdown on the Blitzcrank W might have come through a little bit sooner than that, so the Varus could get in one more auto. And if they got one more auto, I think that they get that kill as well.
This also is not looking great for Gragas. I mean, they're pushing this in for a dive.
Yeah, they're pushing in a dive in for sure.
One wither, Kha'Zix jumps on, but
okay, Poppy's there to cover it though, so I see the Poppy, so they back it off a little bit. That's why I think that things could have gotten nasty there with Poppy showing up. But otherwise, that was a very dead Gragas. Given that he had like no mana and the Kha'Zix was there, it was going to be pretty rough there. A little bit of a trade here coming from the Annie. Nothing else there likely to happen. Double ups onto the Varus is going to be very annoying to deal with.
We also did see, though, that first kill going over in the mid lane was actually over to the
Talia, not to the Kha'Zix. That is important. Ooh, nice flash there from the Talia. I think you're likely locked up and dead there if that connects.
Very dead. Very dead. But, I mean,
a little bit of annoying poke there to stop the back.
About the same here as Poppy. I mean, they're not in a terrible position here. I mean, obviously, Talia is really going to start hurting, but it's better than the Assassin getting online even earlier.
Yeah, we actually see the Kha'Zix up 2 camps currently as well, just due to trying to roam around there for being ganks and her dying in that blue side jungle. Oh, we have a stun from Tibbers, a flash knockback, and that is a kill onto the Annie there, getting the Talia back. A lot of pressure being put into this mid lane here.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's because as soon as Annie gets freed up and can start roaming and matching the Talia, right, who is such an easy opportunity to roam to any lane, it's going to just put them in a better position as we get into the mid game here.
Yeah, nice timing there on the Poppy roaming there, so the gank is on as soon as that ult is coming online for the Annie.
A little bit of a panic there, I think. Could have rooted the Nautilus if they were a little more cautious with their W there.
True, but then again, the Nautilus isn't really the one they want to go on. I think they have to try to be pretty selective here to get that Varus. Ooh, a hook lands there. And a hook lands there, doesn't quite pull in. Oh, it does pull in tower range. I'm surprised. That is unfortunate that went to tower range.
That is some prime hooking, though.
I thought it was going to be just slightly out of tower, and then it would have been okay to just probably walk it off and not need to flash. But with that tower shot going off, he would have taken a second tower shot and possibly died if he didn't flash it.
Right. I mean, definitely the chance of dying if he didn't get out of there fast, but... I mean, Flash now down for both supports, but they both have Hex Flash. A lot of the flashes are just there to go in, so...
Yeah, so the Poppy definitely hasn't farmed quite as much as the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix is definitely leading in that regard, but the Poppy's doing quite well for herself as far as the gank and pressure goes. So that's been nice. She was able to stop that gank in top lane by showing up. She was able to get some pressure in mid lane and get that kill in the mid lane as well. Onto her mid laner.
Still over to Annie. 2 Darksteel stacks is not nothing. On a champion like Annie, I mean, that's going to help her get these combos off to maybe even get some kills.
Yeah, we see red team setting up for Dragon here. I would like to see them take that early, and especially if they see Poppy top lane. I think they know that the blue is spawning, so they can probably have a good guess that she's going to be up in that regard. The jump onto the Nautilus here. This isn't really the juiciest of targets, but he doesn't have flash, and they know that, so they go on him anyway. Flash committed from the Kha'Zix for it, and they should be able to easily turn back around and grab this first Dragon for themselves now.
I mean, you get the Dragon there, and if I'm on the side of blue, I think I might give that Dragon without even peeking, because you know that not everyone is there. except for your top laner, and you know where you know where your mid laner is, you know where the jungler is. Why risk getting yanked by Blitz?
Yeah, I think he might have just been trying to get himself some vision for if they did start it, and found himself in some awkward timing since they were already there. Ooh, ult onto the
Great
Nasus here.
combo
He's gonna
there.
ult. They have the Annie coming in to finish off the job, though. She doesn't quite get it. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. Tiniest bit of help on the.
Great
not
dive.
gonna die there. Not gonna die there. Flash from the Annie away from Talia there. And I think Talia, you might end up paying for this one with your life here, given that you don't have flash. Yep. Oh my, there's so much damage coming across. The Gragas barrel over the wall, the Annie, and the Poppy dishing out a load of damage there. Unfortunate. Wanted to be up there to try to save and trade a kill back, but because of that flash away from the Annie, ends up just giving his life away as well. Overall, though, dead even in the goal and very even in the kills. Slight advantage going now because of that one plate onto the Gragas. So he should be slightly ahead of the Nasus here. He'll back and buy and get himself a little bit. Let's see if he goes. He seems like he's going for a tankier build, which, you know, not the most exciting thing. But, you know, Jack Show's pretty good even if he is going damagey, and looks like that's what he's building towards.
Well, and I mean, it could be Jack Show into the Seraph's Embrace. So you could be going for a little bit of tankiness early, and then get some scaling damage items after.
Okay, we have the BM from Tom here, resulting in him getting hooked, just baiting it. I think he wants this, though. They do have the Kazakhs here. I don't think they had expected that. They looked like they might have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew, and let's hope that the Varus can get himself out. He's got Flash, he's got Cleanse, he's likely to be able to get out of there. So they do trade over the Nautilus. I think that was a winning fight if the Kazakhs was not there.
Oh, definitely. I mean, with Varus building up his stacks, that fight could have been closed out pretty quickly, but, I mean, jungler was there.
Yep.
Not much you can do about it, but he was, so...
Yeah, we see Nasus trading a bit of his HP here for Tower Plate, which he'll gladly do there. Given that the Gragas is not really in a threatening position. Oh, we don't quite steal away the Scuttle there. That's sad. And then a bit of an early W from the Poppy, going to make it so that the Kazakhs can actually get himself out. Went to 37 HP on that Scuttle. Unfortunate. I like the idea. Waiting in the bush trying to steal it, but doesn't quite land it. Good chunking onto the Poppy there, though.
That's rough. I mean, as Poppy, you want to hold that as long as possible because you can more or less react to the jump from...
And catch him midway through it. Yeah,
and
true.
Catch him midway through
it is a slow animation.
You can then just get that and follow up with an E or even an ulti, right? And most likely get the kill. But I understand trying to predict him just panic hopping.
Yeah, I think when you're in the middle of the river there, there's not many places for him to go, so you can probably hold it and then follow with the movement speed if you need to,
right.
Knowing that he's going to try to get himself over a wall. So once he gets closer to that wall, be a bit more ready for it. But overall, pretty even in the top lane here, though I think that evenness does tend to favor the Nasus, just given how strong he tends to be once he gets those stacks online. Tibbers dropped in mid lane, going to force flash from Natalia. A hook trade here in the bot lane, looks like. I think we still have held it on the Blitz. Unclear. I don't think... Nah, the hook must be down from the Blitz. I don't think the Varus plays that far up if the hook is still up. Ooh, missing that CS. Embarrassing from the Nasus there. Ooh. Oh, we see the Kazakhs coming out. They will see the Kazakhs, though, so shouldn't be anything more to happen here. He's going to look to go on him. Not going to happen, though.
I mean, I'd say the Nasus being up 10 CS, down a kill, but up some tower plates, you're feeling okay as the
They're even on the plates, but yeah, he's now up about 10 CS after the last one. I think the Kazakhs wants to try to get onto the Herald here or get a gank off here, but they definitely are putting a lot of pressure towards it. We see 3 people rotating up from mid lane here. The Poppy, the Annie, and then all that's on their way. So if this Gragas can just buy time, he's going to find himself in a winning position here.
And
he easily can. The Poppy flashes over. Don't even think we necessarily needed that, but I do agree that we should mitigate the risk. We see an ultimate from Nautilus. Yep, they're onto the Nasus. Gonna lock it down, and they should be able to lock him in place.
There it is, and the kill going over to the Annie. I like to see it. She's definitely going to be what kind of pushes this team forward in damage and engage potential. But, I mean, hey, great play, great rotate. I mean,
we have the Blitzcrank coming in to try to solo kill the Gragas, but the Poppy is stuck around, and the Talia is here as well, but I don't think she's going to out-damage the Annie here. Oh, you want to get away from that. That Annie Q will kill you, and so will the Gragas barrel. What are we all looking forward to the barrel for? Oh, God, get out of there, Goose.
Oh, everyone just hoping for a little bit extra here on the back.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Play.
Getting a little bit greedy here. They don't have the Blitzcrank ult to clear the wave. Alright, yeah, as we saw, they saw that gank coming top lane and just sent absolutely everyone up there to deal with it. Now we're going to see the Poppy is starting to fall a good bit behind in farm here on the Kazakhs. Being down 30 CS here is pretty meaningful. The Kazakhs is going to be pretty strong.
It's meaningful, but at the same time, I'm not too concerned if I'm Poppy.
That's true. I mean, they have a lot of
I,
beefiness on their team as long as they can keep those priority assassination targets alive, and the Andy's going to be strong enough to keep herself alive. It really is the Varus. As long as he can play safe and play in vision, he should be okay against the God6 here.
and he's already got the Rage Blade going for him, so they can easily look to contest, I think, this second dragon. And
Yep,
Poppy's taking red buff and heading right there.
Yeah, they've got the numbers heading towards it already, though they do have 4 on the bot side for missing Marksman as well here. We'll see if they actually end up fighting for this, if one team just kind of concedes it. I think the early engage here onto the Talia is going to likely mean that we have a flash from the Timber.
We
didn't actually even have the ult. I think maybe he meant ult but didn't need it. Maybe he knew he didn't need it. He has flash WQs, and that is enough damage.
But I mean, that leaving the ult up now for this fight too.
Leaves it up for the team
There's
fight is
just
big.
no reason you come in here unless you're looking for just a steal.
Yeah, even then, like stealing from this side of Dragon Pit is significantly harder.
Not easy.
Yeah, you definitely prefer to go for a steal from the other side. Oh, Varsol committed there. It looks like it did flip the bush. We're seeing a fight in top lane. I don't want to see the fight in top lane. Should be the fight in bot lane here. We have it. We're going to look for it. We hit the W on the Poppy, but oh, couldn't quite get the smite. We have it. Gragas winning this fight up here in top lane. I do want to see this fight. Never mind. That's a hell of an auto attack range. What? Oh my god. That was ridiculous. That went around an entire chunk of the wall.
I mean, right there, Poppy played it just how you needed to. You hold that W, press it when they're getting low, and sure enough, the Kazakhs went in for the steal.
Yeah, we saw the dragon sitting at 945 when the Kazakhs was in there, so not quite in smite range, so wasn't actually able to do anything about it, and they'll be able to pick themselves up the Herald here as well. And we have our first gold lead of about 1,000, only about 1,000, 1.2k here, picked up for Morbin time, Team Blue here.
Well, and we were talking before the game at how this Gragas seemed to kind of be the bane of Ronthi in the top lane.
That's
and
true.
It is only showing to be true with him getting solo killed because he tried to proxy the wave.
We do see him at 0-3-0 on Nasus, a 2-0-2 on the Gragas. So we have seen a lot of early pressure from the team, helping the Gragas get into this winning position. But then that solo kill shows that he's putting that gold that helped him get to good use. Oh, you might be in some trouble here. Okay, all right. He's not actually going to threaten it. I thought maybe the Kha'Zix was going to come over, but he's just doing his Krugs.
I'm trying to think of what I'm looking for.
Yep, he's going to have his back canceled again. Actually, you got to just take a conservative back at this point, sir, if you actually want to back. You have so much gold in your pocket, I imagine. Let's see. He's only 1,000. Okay, maybe he doesn't need it back that much. He's a little bit low on HP.
Wow,
you see the Poppy roaming up here again, though. Here comes the Poppy.
It looks like a bait here. They know the ult isn't up.
They have the Blitzcrank here to cover it, though, and they do have the ult on the Nasus. I mean, it's ult them both the way. I think that's a great move. Just get them out of there and get yourselves out of there.
That's a phenomenal Poppy ult.
Hitting both
You're both dead, potentially, without that.
Yeah, I think the Gragas was definitely going down.
And you got the ult out of Nasus, so Gragas can kind of back.
I just noticed we have Dark Harvest on Poppy.
So I typically run Dark Harvest on Poppy.
Yeah? Really?
Just because you're making so much rotations, you're part of so many takedowns, that you do get some good value off it.
She does do some good damage.
And it depends on what you're building, right? If you go the Divine Sunder, I think Dark Harvest is worth it. If you're building full tank, I think I'm going to go something
Aftershock
on the green tree. Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, you see the sheen here for the Poppy, so it would not shock me.
See the Kazakhs lying in wait here to try to get onto this Gragas. That's a very toasted Gragas, most likely. Oh, maybe?
He doesn't have ulti, though.
How are those isolated Qs from this Kazakhs not doing more damage there? I'm surprised. I feel like the first one I don't think was isolated. I think he was too close to minions. That second one I thought for sure would take him down, but the mitigation on that Gragas W just making it so he's so beefy.
He lasted a while, and it looks like they're going to get the full tower here in mid, so not the worst trade if someone can go cover and not let that Nasus do too much damage.
Yep, Nautilus coming up there to try and hold the wave at least. Not going to be able to do too much about it.
Knowing the history between these two, there's definitely going to be some fighting here. Yeah.
The DM from Tom there. Oh, going in for the ult, knowing that his team is rotating, just trying to slow him down and keep on him. He does have the root back again.
It's classic. I mean, he does so much of this, taunting, so much of these things, but then you don't know what's a play and what's just him taunting you, BM, right? Yeah. You think it's just BM, but his whole team was rotating over there to get an easy kill.
Yeah, and we see that gold lead trimming back again to only about a 200 gold lead, even though there are 5 kills ahead for Morbin time here over the missing Marksman. I feel like they are going to feel pretty good. I feel like Team Morbin time is going to feel like they have the lead, though really they don't have much of one. They have a 500 gold lead now, 400. So the game is next to even, but I think those kills are going to make it feel like they're behind for the missing Marksman.
I think it's also important to look at where these kills are. You've got 4 kills on Poppy, who decided to go for the, semi-damage, semi-tank build here with the Frostfire. But 4 of those kills are on Poppy, who is not going to be the damage dealer necessarily as the game progresses.
That's true,
and
but on the flip side of that,
3 of the 5 kills.
Yeah, we see 3 onto the Kazakhs, and we've already seen, though, this Kazakh struggling to get his damage through in some of these fights. So I'm not sure how effective he'll be against this pretty chunky team.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, can the Poppy protect Varus long enough in the team fights?
Yep.
Can Annie get down a good ulti onto multiple targets? And we'll just kind of have to see how that plays out during some of these fights.
Yeah, we see the Annie is up, about 1,000 gold, 1.1k on the Talia here, and she's upgraded her Dark Seal into a Medjai's now, so she's going to have that little bit extra move speed, which makes her just even that more threatening to get in range faster for those Tibbers.
It's a little bit of confidence.
For Dragon up here in 10 seconds.
A little bit of confidence to go with the Medjai's, but when you have a fully stacked Dark Seal, you kind of
see Tom
like
once again baiting a hook here, very deliberately getting hooked, trying to start a fight. Didn't maybe expect to die instantaneously there. Another kill into the Kazakhs for what I think he knew was happening. I think he knew that they were there and was trying to bait something and didn't realize he'd bitten off quite more than he could chew.
Didn't expect to not get any ability off.
Yep.
Okay, we've got the Bramble, which is gonna hurt Nasus's ability to just keep these farms.
Yeah, see, the Dragon started out. This should be a pretty easy secure here for the Kazakhs. Just, Q-smite it. It's really hard to get the timing window on that for the Poppy. She did a pretty good job there. She found it at about 340, which is definitely risking a steal there. And they are going to see this team rotating around here. I think this Annie could be caught out here, given that they have vision for it. This should be pretty good. So she'll likely trade back a kill at the very worst. Huge Seraphine Charm coming in there. Oh my goodness. I think that the fight could have traded that back. The Kazakhs unable to get in though. Okay, show me this fight. Well, if they get soloed, whatever. We'll catch it again later.
Varus is going back in!
Varus,
and he flashes!
He flashes, gets hooked back in there overall. Oh, the Nautilus wasn't there. The Nautilus had backed and is coming top lane to help out this Gragas. I think that he should be able to handle this Nautilus, Nasus. I should be able to get out of here. I think if Ethan backs off, he should be okay. If he stays for too much more, he might get himself into a dicey spot there. A little bit of greed there. I know he wants that plus 12, but sometimes you gotta just say, hey, I survived the fight. They're both gonna back off, take my prio, and get out of here.
But with that, to me, this game gets kind of blown wide open a little bit.
And that is a 2,000 gold lead.
Talia.
Yeah, 2,000 gold lead over the missing Marksman. The Medjai's reset onto the Annie is big as well. Unfortunately, I think the Varus wanted to get more done in that fight, and he just found himself in a difficult spot once his team was kind of gone. There wasn't anybody there to kind of provide that front line for him, but he was getting out some good damage, and his position was pretty good early. Just once his team was down, it was just kind of on him to try to somehow pull off a miracle.
No way to be in a good position once the whole team kind of wins.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's on Xandra there hitting that big ulti on Seraphine.
That was a huge Seraphine ult. That Kazakhs was going to be traded out by the Annie if the Seraphine didn't charm her out of pulling off more damage.
Right. But now you've got 2.5 items on Kazakhs. You've got 2 items on your Seraphine. I mean, this is going to start being a lot of damage.
Annie lying in wait here. Oh, the game freezes as we have our moment here where we know things are about to go down. They're staring at each other, though the Kazakhs doesn't know. He does have that shield, though.
I think we're going to probably see a W ult, though, here, if they go for it. Yeah, sure.
WQ.
Okay.
I think with the spell shield being on, he knows that, oh, they have the hook landing from the Blitzcrank, and can they burst it? The Zonias comes through, the stopwatch, I imagine she's going to pull Zonias at. And then into the immediate charm, though Annie flashes over the wall. Nautilus hooks the Kazakhs. Kazakhs getting absolutely locked down here, absolutely just bouncy housed. He tries to get onto the Annie. He doesn't quite land from the jump, so he can't quite get to the Annie. Unfortunate there. But good on their team to come and protect this Annie. Nautilus going to hook in.
I don't know if you want to go back in there.
The Annie's here, but she is very low. Yeah, the Seraphine pouring out damage from the backlines.
A kill for nothing.
This is going to be dicey for sure. The Blitz. Oh my goodness, the Tibbers just running at the Talia there is able to get the damage in, and the Gragas showing that he's here as well. Going to belly bump, and then we have a huge double root there, but the Leandre is probably not going to quite take it off. The Leandre does
tick. It does not.
I thought that maybe she would get her shield up just barely in time there, but she didn't quite. It goes down to the tick damage, though the Gragas just barely survives.
I mean, there you've got a 3-for-3 trade then. Except
that was all without
on the
Varus.
bot side. Can we back it up here? How did the Nasus go down? To Varus?
Was Nasus just not in that fight?
Nah, Nasus was bot lane with Varus. For a good chunk of it.
Nasus is here? Yeah,
look down there.
Good catch, good catch. Let's see what happens
Is
down
this
here.
a
In
solo
this fight.
down here?
I mean, it has to be,
Or
right?
did
There's
he
no way
try to
anybody else
go
gets
in
here.
and help and not realize?
I think right now we see Varus waiting for his cleanse to be up. His cleanse is nearly up, and he's just waiting for that cooldown, and then he's willing to challenge this Nasus here. Does he go under the tower? Is that
Play,
what
but
happens?
you love to see that it's gonna
See the wither?
pay
He's
off.
gonna root him as soon as he goes under tower. Oh, he doesn't go for the ult. And
He
then
does
I don't
here.
know
Wow.
what Ethan's doing there. He just greeds for the turret, thinks he can go up and kill, Q the tower to get out of it, and he can't.
I mean, that's some props to the Varus over to the team captain, standing his ground, knowing he can do enough damage.
I think that's just some pure greed out of Bronte right there. I think as soon as he gets that wither, he could easily have backed himself off if he wanted to, wait for that next wave to crash. But yeah, he goes for it, and he ends up trading his life and losing his own tower.
And I mean, that's gold in Varus's pocket. It's free farm in the bot lane. He now's 20 up on the Seraphine.
He's going to be about 2.5 items now for himself. We see the Zhonya's completed for the
shabby.
Annie, though, so that's going to make it even harder for the Kazakhs to do much to her. So really, the Varus is the juiciest target for this Kazakhs, and we see the Varus being in that solo lane a good bit here. If the Kazakhs can take advantage of that and make it a early 4v5 on the map, they might be able to get some of these objectives under their belt.
It'll be very nice. We'd have to point out, though, that while both mid laners have about 2 items, the Annie having that stopwatch.
The stopwatch in the last fight was huge. That was absolutely huge.
It was big. And
I mean, it turned the entire fight. Like, that Annie was dead, and then she was not there to pour out her damage and have her team back her up if that wasn't the case.
Right.
Ooh,
I mean, but
goes the hook.
Talia does have a fully stacked Seraphs, which is not nothing here,
That's
right?
true.
I mean,
She's up
that's a
in
lot
CS
of
as well.
damage.
Okay, see a fight coming out here. Both of these supports kind of looking at who they want to hook here. Poppy's going to ult the Blitzcrank away. We have Nasus going down here to try and deal with the Gragas. They should be able to hold each other at parity most likely here. We do see.
Do you think that ulti from Poppy was worth it? Was she just
It was
trying to
aggressive for sure.
disengage?
I think with the dragon not being up yet, I think it's okay to go for that one. I think once again we see Bronte really wanting this tower. He ends up being able to stack it, but he trades a little bit of damage onto himself for it.
At this point, even with Bramble Vest, you're still going to heal fine, I think, as a level 13 Nasus. Especially with Divine Sunder. So I'm not too worried about trading HP, I think, at this point in the game. Especially for a stacked tower.
True, yeah. We see the dragon coming up here in 30 seconds. The teams are moving down to try to posture for vision on it. We'll see if that leads to any hooks or any fights here coming out. We see some numbers rotating down here towards the Gragas. He's got some of his own members kind of nearby, so I think he's going to feel pretty safe when maybe he should not. Hook should be able to land here off the Wither. That's a pretty easy confirm. And then how much can this Gragas do to stall while his team rotates down? He's going to try to ult the Nasus. He also has this a bit too close to the Varus maybe for comfort there. And then everyone else jumps on the Kazakhs in the meantime.
And Gragas walks away.
Gragas able to walk
That's a
away.
lot of
He
abilities
commits his
missed
ult.
from the Seraphine, but the ulti is really all that matters.
Yeah. Able to land the ult there. Let's see how much damage the Varus can do here.
Sure, but I mean, Nasus, your ult's gone. Can you dish out enough damage? The answer is yes.
Yes,
but
he
no.
can. He can get at least one back. But then they trade the rest of them back here.
I mean, a 5 for 2, though. That's the kind of team fights you want to see from a team that was 2,000 gold down during that fight.
Were they down during that fight? They did close. The gap had closed again to be pretty darn tight right before that fight as well.
It was 2,000 before the fight.
Before the fight? Wow, okay.
Before the fight. But they picked off the Kazakhs.
The picking up the Kazakhs was huge. The Kazakhs being there on the dragon. I don't know if he was trying to get the vision there on the dragon or started up himself and just got caught out by the Poppy.
Even, potentially. But couldn't get over that wall, was killed out, and then the Seraphine killed shortly after. And then all you've got is a very immobile Nasus trying to do damage.
Yeah, Nasus able to trade one back at least. That's a silver lining for him is that he was able to get a little bit more gold and those extra 12 stacks. It's going to be meaningful for sure.
Gargoyles is big on him for sure.
But we're definitely seeing some bleeding coming through here from the missing marksman. They got to try to stem that bleeding a little bit. As their name entails, the missing marksman, they are going to be missing that marksman in these late game fights. Having that extra damage from that Varus is going to be really, really meaningful in these team fights, and they've got to play around their lack of damage there for sure.
Right, and I mean, it kind of comes down, can Seraphine land the ulti? Can Seraphine?
We have the Blitzcrank pulling the Nautilus away from the ward, so he has to use his second charge on his sweeper in order to kill that ward. Nice play there. And can they find themselves this ward? They can't. It fades right before he can. We see the Poppy going onto the Blitzcrank here, looking for something. Oh, misses her window and trying to get him into the wall. Unfortunate, but likely not the target you want to be going on to anyway, not having too much vision of the remaining members. Looks like the team Morbin Time is going to be looking to start this Baron, at least to threaten it here. We'll see what the two bot laners here can do.
Knowing that they have TP and the enemy Nasus does not, I feel really good about starting it up here. At least try to draw some attention. Now getting
I think Nasus is probably hoping that they'll teleport away. And we have the flash Q from the Kazakhs here, going to end up finishing off of that Nautilus here, who's being a little bit too forward for himself. They should be able to get the Varus back here, at least they do. The Dustblade coming through and letting the Kazakhs do a little bit more work than maybe we would have expected. Oh, I don't think you want to be that far off,
you want to be
Goose.
there, though.
That's a little too deep, unfortunately. That should be an easy Baron now over to Team Morbin Time. I don't think the Seraphim's going to be able to do much but harass and poke them.
They don't have their damage anymore.
The flash Q attempt by the Gragas there misses. She should be able to get herself out of this position here.
Varus missing, I don't think they do this.
That's true, that's true. Yeah, it would take them a while to do it, actually.
That was a huge pick.
I mean, they do have Tibbers. Tibbers can tank it up pretty well, but Tibbers is going to be fading here pretty soon, I imagine. Oh, the charm tries to land from the Seraphim. Nearly does connect. Luckily, the Annie sees it coming and backs off, although it might have been a dead Annie.
But now you've lost an entire turret bot lane. I mean, you got to question, was it worth it? You know,
see the Nautilus absolutely going ham for the Nasus here. You don't have anyone else here to support you. I think you're just trying to be a pain in the ass at the moment, Tom. I don't think it's where you need to be. I feel like if we commit numbers down here, there's a chance that they're able to just go to Baron, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. They have the Gragas teleporting in now.
Yeah, you got to run away here.
The Annie is still low. Annie had not healed from that last fight. That is pretty rough. That Blitzcrank hook just barely missing the Annie. Thankfully for her, this would be a very, very free Baron.
I do like it, though. The Varus says, hey, my team's messing around bot lane. I cannot be there. I'm pushing mid.
Yeah, I'm pushing mid, yeah. Yep, just trying to stall as much as you can. Oh my goodness, the Kazakhs nearly gets the Annie there. I think the Annie not being able to heal after that last fight is really what's making this fight awkward here. This is going to be very, very free. Should be able to get the, yep, there we go, double kill there.
Everyone's so low. But that's 2 for 2. I mean, I think that's the best case that could have happened there.
Oh, the Gargoyle doesn't quite get what it wants to. We have the flash. You're trying to get back to her Nasus there. That's a good play there. Just get to your Nasus. He can help you. He can get them off you for a little bit. I think we need to focus. Yeah, focus the real damage here and get onto this Gragas. Though this Varus is just going mid lane and just going absolutely ham. He took out the entire mid lane tower. He's going to trade his life away there. Nice on the Seraphim to flash towards her Nasus there. Good awareness to be, even though you're going towards the enemy base, you're going towards where help is, and that is big.
Well, that's 700 gold over to the Nasus, who's about to hit 16.
Yep, he's sitting on 3k gold, so he'll be able to back himself nearly a completed item, maybe a whole completed item depending on what he's going for. Dragon is spawning here in 45 seconds. Baron is still just sitting up, so I think if we back here and reset for the Dragon, we should be okay. Definitely the awkward part of that fight was the fact that the Annie had not reset. I mean, it's that she was a juicy target the entire time for the Kazakhs and had to play really, really safe for that fight, so she couldn't go in and get her damage off more securely. We're definitely missing the ADC damage for sure. I know the Seraphim's putting out some good damage, but it is not nearly the threatening force that maybe like a Jinx or the Varus and the enemy team would be able to be putting out to these tankier units at this stage of the game. Now, no, her healing is nothing to be, forgetting as well.
At the end of the day, how many times does your Nautilus need to get caught before you realize?
Tom is definitely being a bit aggressive, getting himself a little overextended for these wards at times. He's where he needs to be at a lot of the times. He just needs to be a little bit more with his team.
Right.
Okay, a hook there onto the Kazakh. That's a pretty good target. The Nautilus ult hitting 3 people there is pretty big, but they then immediately explode the Nautilus because he was already low. Poppy ulting 2 away.
Great.
It's a good ult, but now the numbers is just out of their advantage.
I think you got to leave Dragon and go threaten Baron.
I think they should wait out the Nasus ult here. The Nasus ult has dropped. Now he pops that stone plate to try to make it a bit tankier. He's on the front line getting some damage, but this Gragas is just soaking up damage.
I mean, but this is what we're talking about. Where's your ADC? Yep. Where's your Marksman?
Yep, they are definitely missing their Marksman at this moment, though that Talia damage is starting to be pretty meaningful. They're all pretty low over here on the side of Morbin Time, so this could be a pretty awkward dragon fight if this Talia and Seraphim are able to threaten some damage over the walls here. I think if they can get themselves vision here, they should be able to see that they can do this. They do have the smite up. Okay, that's a root onto there. They should be stacked on the Gragas. Not quite. That is no damage. Gragas is so beefy. My mistake. Gragas pushes W and takes nothing. Talia's going in for it. If you can land this, but he gets massively slowed. Oh, he hooks the wall. Oh, no, he did. He hit the Talia, but the pull-in, the pull-in pulled it into the wall so he didn't get there, but that's okay. The Annie is there to clean it up. A little bit of an overextension from Goose. I get what you're going for, but a little bit overextended at the end there.
I mean, that was a rough fight. That was a rough fight, and I mean, I think it's, once again, you're missing a marksman, and that Varus put in so much work during
Yeah, I'm curious to see the damage charts at the end here. I mean, Seraphine's getting us some good damage and good healing and good shielding.
Sure.
That's not to be forgotten, but is it equalizing what the Varus is doing at this late stage of the game? I don't think it is, and that's where you're going to be missing this damage just because of how thick the HP bars are on the side of Morbin time.
And watch this Baron HP bar, and most of this is just going to be coming from Varus auto attacks. I mean, they're going to shred this down, and it's like, Kazik, you're stealing, or you're going to
I mean, it's difficult to get the steal here. He goes for it, had pretty good timing, but it's ulted away by Poppy. Unfortunate. Now, can they make sure they don't lose too much on the backside of it here? That's the question. Kazik's just taking his red buff. I like to see it. Knows where the real priorities are for sure. We're going to see a full team reset here from Team Morbin time, and we'll see how they piece something together here for the missing marksman. Then the Nasus is starting to get pretty scary. Let's check on his stack quantity. How are we looking? About 600 stacks? You know, I mean, at this stage of the game, it's not bad, but it's not crazy either.
Not great.
So we'll see. We'll see how much he's able to do with his team here.
I mean, and it is important to once again sit here and realize it is only 1k gold difference.
It has been a very, very tight game. It's not even 1k. It is a 0.1 gold difference. It is a 0.1k. It is a 100 gold difference. Now 200 because of those Krugs being taken. But it's a very, very tight game. You'll love to see it. It's really anyone's game. And if we get this death cap completed on the Seraphine, which she's very close to, maybe she'll be able to do that a little bit of extra damage she needs to in these fights. And she is doing good damage. She's just not quite killing anyone. That's the issue. The HP bars are getting low, but they're not quite going down. And they've got the tools that they need to deal with that. We're going to see a big engage here coming out of this Nasus, though they might have bitten off a little more than they can shoot. They have a full 4v4 coming. He's on it. He says, hey, I've hit a power spike, guys. I'm strong now. Let's fight around me.
And that's everyone. I mean, I think they'll clean up all of them here.
They might be able to, as long as they can keep this Kazakhs playing kind of around the edges.
Oh, but Gragas coming in. That was a TP from Gragas.
Talia's coming down. Oh, the Talia's come down, but just gets jumped off in the wrong direction there. They got to get somebody back in to help their Nasus here. He's farming it up pretty well. He's doing a good bit of damage. He's stalling, but this Gragas is just buying them so much time. And again, they don't have anyone who can punch through this front line. Okay, the Kazakhs onto the Annie there. We missed that off screen. I think the Kazakhs might be threatening to finish off some damage here. This Poppy's definitely in the range of being dead here. I think if we see this Poppy W come out, he'll go in. But until that W comes out, he just cannot risk going into this Poppy. Oh my goodness, he doesn't quite get the kill there. The smite from the Poppy being able to get him just low enough to finish that off and doesn't quite go down. Again, we're seeing these low HP bars constantly on Morbin time, but they just aren't quite getting it through. The Leandra's tick damage, it does a lot of damage to those HP bars, but it does it slowly is the issue. It's just happening too slow. We do see the death cap finish for the Seraphine. If she had death cap for that fight, I think they win that outright.
Well, and I mean, it really was. If Gragas had TP'd, 2 seconds later, I think
fight's over before he arrives.
A completely different fight.
Yep.
So, I mean, it really props to the Meshi getting in there.
Yep, I was saying I wanted to see a more AP-heavy Gragas. I think he's made the right call here and is showing me that I was wrong, and just that tank Gragas has put in so much work. He's 9-2-11. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Gragas ban in Game 2, considering how effective it's been in these games against Bronte and just in the team fights as a whole. He's doing such a good job soaking up damage, putting out good damage too, putting out good CC. I really like this performance from Meshi here this game.
How do you combat that healing? I mean, you can build so much anti-tank stuff.
Yep, always. We see everyone jumping onto the Nasus here. He's ignited. He flashed. He's popped that stone plate. I don't know if they can re-engage this. They want to use it while the Nasus ult is up. The charm from the Seraphine's pretty huge. They're getting the Poppy to pull away into the tower. Going to be able to finish off the Nautilus there, and the Kazakhs is here. He's going to be burst down by the Annie pretty well. Can he get himself out? He doesn't quite get out the buckler damage coming in the end. Can they finish off this Poppy with the Gragas taking over? Gragas is going to make himself known in this fight, and now we have a 2 for 3. And can they back off here? I think they need to try to get themselves out. The root lands. The Gragas doesn't quite pull the Seraphine in. I'm going to CC him up a little bit, but again, we just see this Gragas just not caring at all about all the damage and spells you're pouring at him. He just shrugs it off, heals it up, and he's at full HP after taking a ton of spells there.
I mean, I do think, though, the problem is you keep having these unfavorable trades here. and this Nasus will become a problem.
Right
Right
now,
now,
built
they're
himself a
able
hull
to.
breaker now, though, which is awkward considering how team fight heavy this game has been. It's not been about this push. We had the Varus push in the middle lane, but we've not had that many 1v1s in the side lanes since, you know, the 20-minute mark or so. And so I think that itemizing towards that now might be a little bit greedy. We'll see how if he can make it work for himself, though.
And you don't even have the TP to maybe, you know,
Pressure the side lane, then get to the fight as well.
Exactly. Yep. So I do question the pick, but maybe he's given up on his team here. After getting blown up in that last fight, every ultimate dumped on him. But that was what won them the fight, is that they had to push everything on the Nas.
Okay, we see the guys going here a little bit early. Poppy's making her way to the fight here, but she's not here yet. So this will be a 4v5 temporarily with that Nasus Commando base, but the Gragas is pretty low. I think in a moment here it's going to be a full-on 5v5 with the soul point on the line for Morbin time. Ultimate committed from Nautilus very early there. Ultimate from Poppy committed as well. That's a lot of ultimates down, a lot of big, meaningful ultimates down. And we're going to see if they can make this fight work. The Seraphine gets absolutely burst down. Poppy in there to finish off the damage with the...
so many low HP bars here.
And we still have the Tibbers, I think. It shows that it's still up. I'm surprised it's still up after all of this. But again, yeah, low HP bars, but not able to really get in and finish from the range.
I mean, it's really the
then also connects there. This might just be the game. I think this is definitely going to be Soul at the very least. Can they keep it to just Soul is the question. They look like they're just going to say, hey, we don't even need Dragon. There's only 2 members alive. We're just going to shove it down mid, and we're going to win this game right now. We'll see if that works out. They have the open inhibitor, so they should be able to, though they have a pretty small minion wave, I think, going in. We'll see if that's enough for them. They have 1 cannon and the 3 casters, but if the Blitzcrank can get up here and clear some waves, Kazakhstan just throw some W's, clear these waves, they might be able to stall enough time, though they only do have 1 Nexus tower, so we'll see. I think the priority here is clear waves. Blitzcrank might need to throw his life away just to ult the wave to get some damage in, though with that teleport coming onto it, there's going to be no chance that they're going to clear the wave then with that teleport coming in, and this should be the game likely ending here, unless they can make a miracle play happen. The Seraphine ult is pretty good, hits a bunch, but I don't think they're going to have the time to do it. The Nexus will go down, and Team Morbin time takes game 1 in a very, very close game. That was super back and forth, and I do think, aptly named Missing Marksman, we're really feeling the pain of not being able to punch through those tanks in those later game fights.